Hi. You don't look so happy to be here either. Do I? Do I look happy to be here? Well, I'm not. I mean, look at me. I'm a mortar shell. A mortar shell. Do you even know what that is? Well, I didn't. Not until yesterday. See, I was sitting in the trenches with the other ammunition, talking to this one shell. Real nice guy, you know? Real nice guy. Well, we're talking, having a civilized conversation, when one of those soldier types comes over and picks him up, carries him away. Rude, I thought. I mean, we were having a civilized conversation. Well, anyway, this soldier type, he carries him over to this little cannon-looking thing, and wouldn't you know it, he drops him right inside, shoots him so far I can't even see where he's gone. But I could hear him. I could hear him scream my name. Morty! And then a boom. And no more screaming. Turns out they shoot us at the German trenches and hope that we'll blow up and explode into all kinds of pieces, and they hope we'll hurt or kill the German soldier types. Me! They want to use me for killing. Why? I didn't ask for this. I didn't sign any papers. I didn't used to be like this, you know. I used to be a saxophone. No, really. I was a saxophone in McGill University's marching band. Oh, those were the days. Marching up and down the football pitch, playing loud and strong while hundreds of spectators cheered and screamed. And then one day, I'm thrown into this scrap metal heap, and I'm melted down, and next thing I know, I wake up, and I'm a... I used to sleep real well at night, and I'd wake up wondering what wonderful things the day was going to bring. Not anymore. Now I know exactly what I'm in for. I used to be someone. I used to play music. Now look at me. War really changes a guy.
My dear William, yesterday I was made a Lance Corporal. So, now you can address your letters to Lance Corporal Bramley Moore. I am rather pleased, as I never asked for a promotion. I got your letter and corrected the long division you sent me. I found only one mistake, but some of the work I call a little untidy. It's not much use being right if people can't read your writing. In which room do you sleep, and who are your chums? If you like fighting other boys, you had better take some lessons in boxing, but I hope you won't fight boys smaller than yourself. I am getting rather tired of soldiering over here. They seem to think that if you can carry your rifle at the correct slope, that they have made you into a good soldier. I have heard people laugh about the Germans and their goose-step march, but ours is just as funny. If brains are going to win the war, then I think the Germans will win, as I can't see any heavy brain work on our side. Luckily, our men are born fighters, so they are hard to beat, even with no brains to help them. I am trying to transfer into the Princess Patricia's Canadian Light Infantry so I can fight for the country that holds our future instead of the one that holds our past. I am anxious to join the Canadians as the pay is better and times are so bad. But one can never get answers. I think the War Office doesn't like anybody over here joining the Canadians. From your affectionate father, Alwyn. There you have it. He's trying to join the Canadians. Princess Patricia's Canadian Light Infantry, PPCLI, or the Princess Pats for short. That's an Edmonton battalion. Does that name sound familiar to any of you? The Princess Pats? What about this? Ready? And the Princess Pat, Light Infantry, they sailed across the 7 seas. They sailed across the ocean blue and took with them a rick of bamboo, a rick of bamboo. Now what is that? It's something made by the Princess Pat. It's red and green and purple too. That's why it's called a rick of bamboo. Stop that now, all of you. Really, you should be ashamed of yourselves. Rick of bamboo. Did you know that the original version of that song is the regimental march of the Princess Pats? It is, and it's no campfire song either. It's called Rick-a-Dam-Doo, and it means a great deal to the soldiers. You'll hear it a little bit later. Right now, back to Alwyn. I'm sorry to hear that you have been ill again this winter. You must be sure to be careful not to get wet, and then in a year or so you will probably get good and strong again. I try to be as careful as I can myself, and I don't want to be laid up. But just now I'm laid up with a sprained ankle. As such, there is even less news than usual, but I will try and answer the questions that you have sent. First of all, that story about Major Anderson's legs being cut off is a lie from what I hear. You mustn't believe all the wicked stories you hear. Germans and Austrians are just the same as we are, some kind, some cruel. None of the Germans you knew were cruel, and of the 2 boys, George and Billy, who worked on our farm, George was an Austrian. He was nice enough. I hope you're not going to join anti-German leagues and such things. I don't think the soldiers who fight would join as much as those that stay behind. They fight hard enough to suit us, and a good soldier exacts admiration. As for your second question, I don't think it matters at all what side God is on. First, of course, I don't believe there is one, and secondly, if there is, and he thinks the Germans need beating because they are cruel, why trouble sending over so many Canadians and Australians? Couldn't God manage to lick them without getting all those other people killed? I would very much like you to read this letter I am sending you. It's a copy of a German soldier's letter printed in an English newspaper. It may make you think about things in a different way. From your affectionate father, Alwyn. Here, then, is the soldier's letter that Alwyn included. It's the letter of a German soldier written in response to his little sister. His sister had written him and asked him to kill a lot of Russians and gain a new victory in order to cheer us up. This is what he wrote back. Kill a lot of Russians? You've not seen them lying about, these poor men with their singularly solemn faces. You've not seen the battle which preceded, and the bad wounds which so many of my friends got in trying to kill all of them. You do not think of the fact that those dead men had parents, brothers and sisters whom they loved. And you have not seen the harrowing destruction of the villages and towns, how the hunted down population is running away, leaving everything they had behind to be consumed by the flames. But then remember, we are not fighting in order to cheer you up. We are not starved and suffering from wounds and homesickness in order that you at home may be cheerful at the tea or beer table. We are fighting and bearing this terrible wretchedness, in order that you may be spared the horrors of war, and that the future may be bright. My dear Dorothy, I am with the Canadians. I was sworn in as a Princess Pat today, and am stationed here with them. Now, from what they tell me, the soldiers on the front consider it a great piece of luck to get wounded in the leg or the arm, as they all figure we must get wounded somewhere. But if you only get a very slight wound, they hurry you right back to the front, so a wound has to be just so to let one still be able to get about, but not fit for fighting. The Germans haven't got enough time to choose any special place to hit, so one just takes his luck. We are all anxious to get over and try our own luck. I don't think I'll see Cold Lake this year. Oh, I would so like to be up there now. The ducks will be pleased to know that I am going to find out how funny it is being shot at. I always thought it was unfair that we had the guns and they were left to try and fly away unarmed. It seems awfully slow in getting to the trenches, but I guess the war will last long enough to give everybody a chance. Please thank Laura for the valentine she sent, and tell her that I don't think I'm clever enough to make one, and anyway, the time is long past now. Well, dear me, who would want me for a valentine? From your affectionate father, Alwyn. Now, once he joined the Canadians, he was sent off to the front very quickly. Do you know what he means when he calls it the front? Well, you see, war is all about borders. You defend your country's border. That's your front. You dig trenches and fight the other guys on their border. If you win, you get to move your border up a little bit. Now, in between them is a place called No Man's Land. No one lives there, but people do die there. My dear Alfred, I am just getting ready to leave this camp and move on to the front, so I shall soon have news for you about the actual fighting line. I have heard a lot of stories, but they all seem different, so one must see for oneself. I would never have got there if the war had been as short as a lot of people expected, but I felt sure that it was going to be a long war. All peaceful here, and magnificent weather. One would almost believe that war is only a horrible dream, as there is such little difference really between the various white races, but apparently they take it very seriously and are determined to blow one another up. I can't help smiling at the trouble they take about it, though it's no joke, as they kill the young instead of the old. It wouldn't matter so much, would it, if the old people chose to kill one another, but the old ones stay behind and send the young ones to fight, because the old ones manage affairs so badly that all the fighting is necessary. If I don't come back, you will be more or less left in charge of the younger brothers and sisters. That will mean that you must help them, and when they make mistakes, you must try and put it right. I don't believe in any life after this one, but all you children are a part of me, so in a way, I will still be alive. From your affectionate father, Alwyn.